So this past year, after I completed my year-long time-lapse project at the astronomy park, I decided to go ahead and start taking time lapses of my mount while I was taking deep space photos. So just kind of showing the mount tracking across the sky with the sky moving across behind it. So in the first half of the year, I was using my trusty old EQM35 Pro. It's a bit hefty. The steel tripod, a whole bunch of other stuff makes it less mobile, less travelable. And then towards the end of the season, I had upgraded to the Star Adventure GTI, and that was a lot more travelable. I've got the carbon tripod for it, and it was a lot easier to take with me, quicker to set up, and quicker to do things with. Overall, as a travel mount, I actually took it on the plane in my carry-on a couple of times. Took it with me on road trips a lot easier than I could with the EQM. So I just wanted to cover the basics of the mounts. So this is what I've been using as my Astro setup. It's my 90D stock, unmodified, no filters. Still what I use for all of my regular landscape photography. I've got a Lacerta MGEN3 as my guide camera, and the controller for the guiding setup. So because of this, I don't actually have to use a computer, and I don't have to worry about all of that setup. It talks to the guide camera, and it also controls the camera itself with the shutter release, and that enables me to dither at the same time. So that's very handy to have everything controlled through this unit, and also very travelable. I can again take this, put it in a small bag, and put it inside my carry-on and take it with me when I travel places. The other piece of equipment for making the time lapses that has been instrumental has been this move shoot move. It's my little travel mount. Ideally it's for a wide angle lens. You just kind of mount it on a tripod, you point it at Polaris, you turn it on, and it goes. So when I've been doing these rotating time lapses, what I've had is I've just put the camera straight on this. I put this on the ground, I'll set it to half speed or regular speed, and then I'll just let it go and track across the sky as it's tracking across the mount in the foreground. So that's added a nice touch to these videos. It makes it a little bit more dynamic and less static. You're not just staring at the same thing. As I did one in my last trip to Texas, I went to Big Bend, and I had a ball head brake, I had a tripod brake. So the only thing I could do that night was set my camera directly onto the move shoot move, set the move shoot move on the ground, and then just tell it to go for a couple of hours, check the battery every so often. And it was a really cool time lapse. So I wish that I had done that more often, but again, it requires a camera, a whole bunch of batteries, and a dedicated mount. But it does take a lot of time and dedicated equipment to focus on just one 20-second video. So that is my setup that I used in these videos, and I hope that you enjoy the time lapses and the content that I was able to generate with this equipment. And as you can tell from those videos, the astronomy park is really well set up for just stargazing as well as astrophotography. We've got a nice level area to set up our mounts. We've got electrical outlets to plug everything in, and it makes it really nice. So another reason to go visit JGAP if you've got some equipment, just even a regular telescope, just to go down there, set it up, have some fun, meet more people, and have a great evening of enjoying our amazing night sky. And hopefully maybe I'll catch you down at John Glenn Astronomy Park one of these nights. It's about the darkest skies in Ohio, and if you haven't been, you should really go. And it's one of the few places that you can see the Milky Way in Ohio, and it's definitely worth the visit.